All right, guys. I'm just setting up my mic and I'm just gonna start. If you want, you can join in the Discord so we can have a discussion. I'm just gonna put the link to join here in the chat. All right, so I'm gonna paste it into the chat. If anyone want to join this discussion, feel free to do so. So I'm just gonna make it like that. Join the discussion in Discord. All right, and I'm gonna pin the message. All right, great. Okay, so most of you, I guess, heard that Unity has a new pricing model. All right, and let me just switch to my monitor. All right. So this is the new Unity pricing model, which is completely ridiculous. And I'm just going to give you an example. So right now, if you're an indie developer and you made more than 200K and have lifetime installs more than 200K, which means if you're, for example, if your game is, let's say, 7 years old and you made more than that, and you have in the last 12 months 200K, you start paying 20 cents per new install. And this is not the complete bad thing. The bad thing is that in the end, you can end up by being hacked or something like this. So let me just make little calculations and show you how bad this is. So here I have a few examples of studios and games, and let's say Voodoo with this Aquapark game, all right, over here. So I'm sure they did have more than 200K in revenue for them, and right now they're making 2 million for that game alone, 2 million, all right? So let's calculate this. They're making 2 million, and the ask price is 20 cents, right? So when you go here, you're making 2 million installs per month, and this install is 20 cents. If you're Unity personal, but let's assume they're pro, for example, if they're pro, the calculation is 0.01, right? Which is, again, pretty bad. So they're not making any revenue. Their revenue is under 5K. And what you have over here is Unity will take 20K each month from this studio. I bet Voodoo can manage because it's a big studio, all right, for example, but still you need to pay Unity 20K each month. And if you are not Voodoo, not a big studio, but your game is popular and you're making money only from ads, imagine you're not making, let's say you're making 20K from ads and you're giving 20K to Unity. So basically you're not making anything and you will need just to shut down your game. Another example, let's take this game. This game is like an indie game. It has 18K downloads. Follow me here. They have 18K downloads this month, the previous month, all right? And what you have here is this studio, let's say for the past 12 months, made 200K in revenue from ads. Obviously, this game is ad-based. So they have this kind of downloads and they need to pay 0.20 cents. So you're making, like, let's say you're making this money, 200K, let's say 200K annual. All right. And you need to pay 160 only to Unity. All right. This is only to Unity, 160. So let's make the calculations. You're making 200K annual. All right. 160 Unity. You have 30% tax on Apple and Google. You have, let's say, 10% tax depend on your country. So what do you think this developer will have in the end? They will have like a few cents or bucks. And if you have developers that you need to pay salaries to, so you're basically broke and you just basically need to shut down your game. But that's not the most, crucial example. Let me show you another example. Like my perfect hotel, making 200K month, all right? So it goes into this one, 200K, all right? And if they're using, for example, you're an indie game developer, we're talking about small studios over here that cannot afford to pay like 2K annually for Unity Pro or got the Unity Enterprise, all right? So they're killing the indie scene over there. So let's say you're an indie game developer, you did make this My Perfect Hotel game, you're making 200K, so you get this in the 200K for the last 12 months, and you have install threshold of 8 million. All right, so you have 8 million, 0.2. Can you imagine how much money you need to pay? You need to pay 1,600,000. All right, if you own this game and you're making 200K per month. So what should you do? You should block users from downloading your game or what? So it's just like they just woke up this morning and just how we're going to make money. All right. So if you have a very successful game in matter of downloads and so in matter of revenue, you basically will need to shut down your game. That's what Unity says. All right. So let's say in the other variant, for example, let's say you have Unity Pro. Let me calculate this one. You have Unity Pro, you're a big boy, 8 million, 80K goes to Unity. So from your 200K, you end up with 120 minus 30%, which is the cut of Apple and Google. Let's say you have 15% in tax. Let's say you need to pay your employees, for example, artists, developers, so on, around 30%. So you from 200K, you're left with 50K. And how you should grow your studio with this. But that's not the whole problem, all right? You can dig a little bit more in the rabbit hole. So it is from Steam, Android, Apple, it doesn't matter. They just track downloads. But listen right now what I'm going to say. This is pretty important. For example, yeah. So for example, let's say your game gets popular and you're making, let's say 10K dollars you're making, and your game is popular. But you have a community of hackers, for example, from China. What they can do is, right now Unity says that if you install and uninstall game, so let's say if you install a game, then uninstall, then go back again to installation, you get charged $20 cents. All right. So if one user install your game, uninstall your game, and install it again, you get charged. Imagine what a phone farm can do. For example, if we have like 100 phones, all right, and those 100 phones has a bot on them, which we program a bot which will let me just put yellow, which will install and uninstall the game 24/7. All right, so this is a cycle. So 100 phones installing and uninstalling. Let's say you made like let's say for an hour, let's say around 2 minutes for install and uninstall. Let's divide, let's say 5 minutes for both, for uninstall and install. 60 divided by 5. So each phone will do 12 uninstalls and installs per hour. So you have 100 phones, you have 24 hours, and someone can make you a fake install and uninstalls 28,000 multiplying by 0.2. So each day you can burn $500 just like that if hackers start attacking you. Imagine if they start using farms in China for phones. So 10,000 phones, 12 per hour, 24 hours. They can do 2 million installs and uninstalls. And this is very stupid because Unity said that they cannot track those devices, right? And if hackers want to attack your game, it is pretty easy, and basically your game can be closed in one day. I'm talking about the indie game developers, all right? So that's insane. Let me just Google search this one. Install, uninstall Unity game new pricing model, all right? Let's go to the fake use. Install. So they just basically says that they cannot track if the same device install or uninstall, and they will charge you. So it's super ridiculous. So this is the guy, the CEO, the great guy that came up with this great idea, and right now all the developers will go to Unreal Engine, I guess. All the indie developers. Let's go to Unreal Engine and check what they give like royalty. So once you've begun collecting money for your product, you need to track gross revenue and pay 5% royalty on that amount after 1 million. So you need to just pay 5%. You don't pay per download. Maybe your game has 1 billion downloads. It depends on the revenue. If you're making 10K, you don't pay a shit, all right? But no, in Unity, you need to pay, of course. Let's go to Twitter Unity. And let's check their publication. Where was that? Unity new pricing model forum. Yeah, it was in the forum. So I can show you the exact thing. Also, they will charge the pirate. All right, so here it is. If a user reinstall, re-download a game, changes their hardware, will discount as multiple installs. Yes, the creator will need to pay for all future installs. The reason is that Unity doesn't receive end player information, just aggregated data. So if you have, this is valid point for me. Like if someone wants to hack your game with 1,000 phones and write a bot to install and uninstall your game, you can be charged like 5K or so per day. So why should you go and make games with Unity after all? Like this thing itself compromise everything. Like if you charge your developer per install and reinstall, like what the fuck is this? Like, can you detect a unique user at least? And it is just a shitstorm right now in the forums. So yeah, guys. This is it. The new pricing model is just great. And as I show you, like if you have a successful game like this one, My Perfect Hotel, you will be at minus and you will need to shut down your game. So with those 8 million downloads, 0.01, you're gonna burn 80K. if you are, for example, if you are paying for Unity Pro, I guess you're paying. But if you are above over here and you have a lot of downloads, it just don't work. Yeah, I'm gonna share it right now, the link. This is the blog post, and this is the Unity forum. And the thing is that also they will start charging old games. For example, you publish your game in 2005, your game made 2 million downloads, and your game made like 200K in the last 12 months, boom, start charging you instantly. It doesn't matter. Sorry, guys. It doesn't matter that your game is old and you didn't sign up for this. All right. So they instantly start charging you. And this thing over here, what's going to stop us being charged for pirated copies of our game? We do already have fraud detection practices in our ads technology. Like almost each one of the Unity games that are on mobile, if you don't make your own security, the game can be hacked. So I highly doubt they have some anti-fraud, and at some point people can just start downloading pirated copies or just write again bots in some other ways. And it affects everything, like games on PC, on Steam, on console, on portable devices, on mobile, everything. All right. Yeah. So again, it's a complete disaster, and maybe a lot of people will just stop using Unity. Yeah, guys. So let me know what you think about this in the chat. Are you using Unity or so? This was just a quick stream just to show you what a greedy bastards they can be in Unity. And as you see, our channel is for Unreal. I was about to start making videos about Unity too, but right now I'm not so sure about it. All right, guys, I hope I showed you the bad side of it and how this can be hacked pretty easily. Just invest like this make no sense. I've never been a fan of Unity, but lots of devs use it because of yeah, it is easier and you can ship a game pretty fast. But in the end, as I told you, this is hackable. And if someone invests like 10K in, yeah, it will increase Unreal users for sure. So if you invest 10K and just buy 100 phones, you can ruin a lot of indie dev games. Like just start spamming install and uninstall the whole day with a bot, and you're good to go. If you have a rivalry. Hello, Aslam. Well, I told the people about the new Unity pricing model, how they charge per install, and how this pricing model, how it can be hacked pretty easily. Just no, they're gonna charge you per install. Yeah, it's not April Fool, guys. It's not a joke. It's not a drill. And this is just and what is a paid install? Uh no, every install So the idea is that if your game has more in your life cycle, if it has more than 200,000 installs, and for the past 12 months, $200,000 in revenue, they will start charging each next install 20 cents if you are using Unity Personal. So let's say you have this month 200,000 installs. You need to pay 40 grand to them. And your game might not even make that, all right? So if you're making 200,000 12 months, you're making 15 grand and you need to pay them 40. How do you think this is fair? Like, and how can you pay them? So yeah, so for example, let's say your game, you're making this money. No, no, here it is. Read this carefully. Uh, no, it's not like that. So it is here. Where it is? Oh, here it is. If a user reinstall, re-download a game, changes their hardware, for example, you change your PC or phone, will that count as multiple installs? Or today you just reinstall the game, you uninstall it and reinstall it. Yes, the creator will need to pay for all future installs. All right. So yeah, I guess they will update eventually because everything is so, broken. But I hope they just gave up on this one. I think Unreal Engine will dominate, like on 100% will dominate this time. Because 5% fee after 1 million, if you make 1 million from your game, I'll gladly give 5% to Epic Games. Yeah. I think, yeah, I think the competition right now in Unreal Engine is mostly in the PC gaming, like in Steam, in console gaming, because I didn't saw too much mobile games done with Unreal, but sorry, but I think if more people switch from Unity to Unreal, a lot of tools will pop out, and um, the whole workflow in creating mobile games will be very easy because a lot of people will write the right tools to have faster development, and that is something that right now holds back the people to switch from Unity to Unreal. The ease that you can create a mobile game with Unity, but I think it will be a healthy competition if you ask for it, and I think the progress will be better. But in the end, I think Unity will just gave up on this model because in Twitter I see that it is a shitstorm over there. In the forum is too. 97 pages, and everybody's hating. And some of the big studios are still thinking to quit if this keeps going on. I think Godot is more of a basic engine. It's not, you can, I think you can create something advanced, but not so much. Like, uh, let me check. I bet Unity stock just dropped today. Yeah. So great job, Unity. 81% from the top. They're just trying to kill the engine, I guess. All right, so this is pretty much, this sums up everything that I told you about. And yeah, they probably changed the model with the reinstalls. And one thing that uh, I'm not, I wonder if it will works. For example, if you have your game, let's say you have game X, and you don't use in-app for your mobile game, and ads, you don't use the Unity ads, let's say Unity, and you use, for example, web store and uploading, which is another ad network. How Unity can track your web store, the revenue from it? They can't. How Unity can add how much money you're making from uploading from the ad network? Maybe if they ask, they will know, but I highly doubt Uplovin will share details with them. So there's a lot of ifs, and like this announcement from yesterday is just like they just woke up with it, I think. So yeah, guys, thank you for tuning in. It was just a quick stream just to show you how stupid this is. There is no Unreal Engine stock. It's not public company, but Unity it is. And the interesting thing is that this piece of shit sold his stocks like 2 days before they make the announcement. How good is that? Like he sold like a couple of 100,000 of Unity stocks just before the announcement, and they tanked. So I guess it's a game of money, and they don't give a fuck about the community anymore. Yeah, so thank you guys for joining in. I hope you have a great day, great night. I'm a little bit sick yet, but I'm getting fine. And right now I cannot record videos because I coughed so much. So yeah, have a great evening, day, night, and see you soon.